Hello everyone. I hope you are very well and healthy and happy. This story has been gifted to us by my wonderful and unbelievably supportive patrons. As many of you know, I am in hospital and I'm due to be here for some time yet. So I am unable to bring you new stories. If you do enjoy this story and would like to hear more from the series, or you'd just like to support the channel, you too can become a patron using the links below. I appreciate your patience and incredible support at this time. I will be back as soon as I am able to be. Thank you. Scotland is a dream destination for many of us. Its beauty differs from most of the most famous landmarks in a number of ways. The scenery is not simply postcard-worthy. It invites you in with its myriad of moods, tones, textures. It is more than just nice to look at. It's homely in an authentic sense. Not too fancy, not too shabby. Just right for those who live humbly. Around every turn, there are landscapes to lose yourself in, people to jabber away with, and nests of pure peace that claim your heart. So, why don't you and me have a real adventure then? That certainly sounds good to me. All right then. Pack your kilts, prepare your taste buds, and dust off the old walking boots. We are going on a grand, sleepy journey through Scotland. So as always, lie back, take a deep breath, and welcome to Snooze with Sam.
Welcome to Edinburgh, Sunny Jims. You have noticed it's pissing down with rain the new, but never mind. That's what jackets are for. Mind your head on the way out, and watch your feet. Don't want to step on any wild haggis. Thank you for flying with Rainy Good Airlines. Safe journeys, new everybody.
The pilot's voice crackles over the intercom as the aircraft touches down. The engines whine and the cabin lights blink on, signalling the start of our adventure. The anticipation is palpable as passengers begin to stretch and gather their belongings. Here we go. We are finally in Scotland. You follow me through the airport. The air a cool blend of recycled oxygen and the faint scent of distant rain. The walls are adorned with vibrant murals, a colourful prelude to the city's rich pattern of culture and history. We exit the air-conditioned confines of the terminal and step into the brisk embrace of Scottish weather. The sky, a canvas of steel grey clouds, promises a day full of character. Our journey into the heart of Edinburgh begins with a smooth ride on the tram. The city unfurls before us, a patchwork of ancient stone buildings and modern steel structures. The cobblestone streets below are slick with rain, creating an ever-changing mosaic of light and shadow. The tram's windows frame fleeting images of daily life. A couple sharing an umbrella. A child chasing a kite caught in the wind. And a street musician playing a mournful tune on the bagpipes. As we glide closer to the city centre, the grandeur of Edinburgh's architecture truly sets you in awe. The buildings, aged by centuries of wind and rain, stand tall and proud, each one telling a story of kings and queens, battles and betrayals. The castle, an imposing fortress perched atop a craggy hill, looms in the near distance, just above Princess Street Gardens. Its walls are a jumble of different eras, each layer and repair a chapter in the book of Scotland's rich history. We disembark at the tram station, and the cobblestone streets stretch out before us like the veins of an ancient creature. The Royal Mile beckons with its crooked spine, lined with shops and pubs that seem to have been plucked straight from the pages of a Robert Louis Stevenson novel. The air is filled with the comforting scent of hot cobblers and the distant toll of the castle's 1 o'clock gun. This is a reminder that this city is very much alive, despite its storied and haunting past. Our first stop, conveniently, is the Edinburgh dungeon. A costumed guide with a wry smile greets us, his cloak fluttering in the gusty breeze. He leads us down a narrow staircase into the bowels of the city, where we are surrounded by the echoes of laughter and screams. The walls are damp, and the smells of earth and dampness mingle with the faint scent of candle wax. Each room we enter is a tableau of macabre history, brought to life by actors with a flair for the dramatic and a penchant for terrible puns. But who doesn't like those? Especially when they are terrifyingly funny. The Whiskey Factory tour is next. It's a short walk, but the rain has picked up, soaking us to the bare bone. Yet we laugh it off, our spirits undampened by the Scottish shower. The warm, peaty scent of the distillery envelops us as we step inside, a stark contrast to the chilly dungeon air. Our guide, a burly man with a thick brogue, tells us about the art of whiskey making with a passion that's as potent as the drink itself. We meander through the copper stills and oak barrels, the amber liquid slumbering within promising warmth and revelry. Once we've finished our sips and learned the secrets of the whiskey craft, it's time to collect our wee camper van. Woohoo! It's a tiny thing, our camper van, but it's got character in shovel loads. The paint is a little chipped, and it's seen better days, but it's our chariot for the next leg of our adventure. We climb inside, and I show you the compact kitchen, the cosy sleeping quarters, and a mini library of road maps and tourist guides. There is no denying that it is a little cramped, but it's got everything we need for our journey across the Scottish countryside. With a toot of the horn and a final wave to the castle, we set off from Edinburgh. The rain has tapered to a gentle patter, and the city's lights are like a farewell party as we merge onto the motorway. The road ahead is a ribbon of tarmac that whispers promises of hidden lochs and majestic mountains. We have the whole of Scotland to explore, and we're not about to let a little dampness dampen our spirits now, are we? We love the rain. Sing it with me. You don't have to, but you better get used to it. Our camper van, which I affectionately refer to as Hamish, putters along the A1, hugging the coastline as we go. The North Sea stretches out to our left, a moody backdrop of grey-green water and white-capped waves. To our right, the rolling fields are peppered with sheep, huddled together against the chill. Their bleats are faint over the purr of the engine and the rhythmic swish of the windshield wipers. The scenery is like a painting come to life, and we're just tiny, adventurous figures in the corner, setting out on a grand journey. The town of North Berwick emerges from the mist, a postcard-perfect place with rows of pastel-coloured houses and picturesque harbours. The rain has, finally, stopped, leaving behind a clean, fresh scent that seems to invigorate the very air we breathe. We find a cosy spot to park Hamish and set off on foot to explore the cobbled streets. The scent of fresh seafood wafts from the local eateries, making our stomachs growl in harmony with the gulls that circle above. We settle on a quaint chippy, the neon sign flickering in the damp air, promising hot, crispy fish and fluffy chips. The owner, a jovial woman with rosy cheeks and a warm smile, serves us up a feast wrapped in newspaper. We carry it back to the harbour's sea wall, the crunch of our footsteps on the gravel mingling with the lull of the waves. The chill in the air is a gentle nudge to hurry and indulge in the steaming delights in our hands. With darkness looming in, we make our way back to Hamish, our bellies satisfied and our spirits high. The countryside beckons, and we navigate the narrow, winding roads with the ease of locals. The GPS, however, seems to have its own whimsical sense of humour, taking us on a scenic detour through a forest that feels like it's straight out of a fairy tale book. The trees lean in, whisper their secrets, and the occasional owl hoots a greeting from a shadowy branch. Finally, we arrive at Black Hill Farm, a picturesque spot with a gentle slope leading to a loch that reflects the moon's silvery glow. The farmhouse is a charming blend of rustic and modern, with a warm light shining from the window to welcome us in. A kind-faced woman who introduces herself greets us with a smile that could melt the stoniest of hearts. She is a treasure trove of local knowledge and offers us a spot to park for the night, surrounded by the gentle bleating of the farm's sheep. The camper van door creaks open, and we step out into the brisk night air. The scent of wet earth and grass fills our nostrils as we set up our camp chairs and table, the only sound the occasional splash of a fish in the water. She pours us a cup of tea, the warmth and comfort of it soothing after our long, thrilling day. The rain has left the world looking cleaner and more vibrant, as if it had been painted with fresh ink only moments ago. Inside the van, the space feels snug and welcoming. The mattress is surprisingly comfortable, and with the sound of the rain tapping on the roof, we are lulled into a cosy embrace. I lay there, my mind wandering through the kaleidoscope of experiences we have had so far. The spooky ghosts of the dungeon, the warm whispers of the distillery, and the crunch of the chips in North Berwick. These all intermingle into a delightful tapestry of memories. I'm not even sure at what point I fell asleep, but when I did, it must have been as fast as a fast thing. The dawn breaks with a symphony of moos, and I wake up to the curious gaze of a herd of cows. They're standing around our van in a perfect semicircle, as if they've gathered for a council meeting to discuss the alien invasion that's parked in their pasture. They're all different sizes and shades of brown, with big, googly eyes that seem to ask, "What on earth are you doing here?" You stir, and I whisper, "Look who's up early to greet us." You peek through the curtains, and your laugh echoes through the van like the sweetest of alarms. We step outside into the dewy morning, and the cows don't flinch. They just continue to stare as if we are the main attraction of the farm's morning entertainment. The air is crisp, carrying the faint scent of the sea, now just a whiff rather than a full embrace. The rain from last night has left the grass saturated, and our shoes squelch as we make our way to the farmhouse for a proper Scottish breakfast. The kind woman from the night before and her cat who's called Morag, of course, has a spread of eggs, sausages, black pudding, and tatty scones that could win over even the most sceptical of stomachs. Breakfast is a delightful dance of flavours, the hearty food warming us from the inside out. The cat, sensing our contentment, jumps onto the table, begging for scraps with a purr that's louder than a tractor engine. You laugh and give her a bit of your sausage, and she regards you with a look that says, "This is how it's done." The lovely woman tells us tales of Morag's frankly unbelievable antics. Her laughter is warm and rich as the tea she pours. Afterwards, we thank both our hosts and set off, our bellies full and our spirits rather high. We head south into the borders of Scotland, the sun peeking through the clouds like a shy child. The countryside around us is a patchwork of green and gold, the rolling hills stretching out like a giant's quilt. The landscape feels like it's been painted by time itself. Each hillock and glen and crag a brushstroke of history. The van's wheels whisper and rumble over the tarmac, and we pass through towns that seem to have been plucked from the pages of a fairy tale book. The further south we travel, the more the land speaks of battles long past. Ruins of castles stand sentinel on hilltops, their stones stained with the whispers of old wars. The names Melrose, Hoyk, and Kelso, each a verse in the epic poem of this land's past. The road takes us through valleys where rivers meander like snakes, slithering through the earth's embrace. In the village of Peebles, we pull over and stroll the narrow streets lined with boutiques and cafes. The town is a treasure chest of experiences, and we pluck out its jewels one by one. The air is thick with the aroma of freshly baked bread wafting from the local bakery, and this mingles with the scent of blooming flowers that spill from window boxes and line the paved streets. I lead you to a charming bookstore, its window displaying a rainbow of spines that beckon to us. Inside, the scent of aged paper and leather bindings fills our nostrils, a fragrance that speaks of adventures and knowledge waiting to be discovered. Our stomachs then, of course, remind us that it's coffee o'clock, and we heed the call with great enthusiasm. The cafe we choose is a cosy nook nestled between a tartan shop and an antique emporium. It's called the Herringbone, and the wooden sign above the door features a steaming cup balancing precariously on a book titled Whiskey Dreams. We choose a table outside, the cobblestones still damp from the night's rain, and watch as the townsfolk begin their day. A young couple with a baby in a rainbow-coloured pushchair pass by, the mother's cheeks as pink as the flowers in her hair. They exchange a knowing smile with the owner of a nearby flower shop, who's arranging a bouquet that seems to be trying to escape the confines of its basket. An old man in a tweed cap nods at us as he walks his equally ancient dog, whose fur matches the cobblestones and resembles that of a shoe brush. The dog stops to sniff our shoes. Maybe he wants to brush them too. And I swear that he winks. The world feels alive with whispers of stories, and we are just two more characters in this ever-expanding novel of life. The road out of Peebles is a serene ballet of curves and dips, the van hugging each bend like a well-practiced dance partner. That's not true at all, actually. Hamish rolls like a boat, but that's not very poetic now, is it? But between you and me, these roads around Peebles really are some of my favourite roads to drive in the whole country. I am often found down this neck of the woods on my motorbikes or in a spirited car. But don't tell anyone, because they're nice and quiet. Don't want them to get too busy. Anywho, the scenery is a kaleidoscope of greens and blues, the forests and hills playing peekaboo with the lochs. Each village we pass through has its own charm, a blend of the old and the new. Stone cottages with thatched roofs lean into each other as if sharing secrets, while sleek modern homes peek out from behind them, eager to join the morning gossip. The weather is playing hide-and-seek with us, naturally, the sun teasing us with brief appearances before retreating behind the clouds again. Such a tease is the sun. But even with the chill in the air, the beauty of Dumfries and Galloway is undeniable. This isn't the Scotland of postcards, necessarily, with its crowded highlands and polished castles. This is a more real Scotland, raw and unfiltered, where the landscapes are as vast as the ocean and as intimate as close friendships. We arrive in Kipford, a village so small it feels like we've stumbled upon a secret. The sea is a whisper in the background, especially noticeable now that we're not near a bustling town anymore. The shore is a mosaic of seashells, crunching underfoot like a natural orchestra tuning its instruments. The quiet is so profound that you can almost hear the heartbeat of the earth, a steady rhythm that soothes the soul. We meander along the beach, the wind playing with our hair, and the smell of brine kissing our cheeks. The water laps gently at the shore, a soft reminder of the vastness of the ocean beyond the horizon. And there they are, sea dogs, sea puppies, or what most other people call them, seals, bobbing in the bay like adorable, slightly awkward boys. They're so still, you might mistake them for rocks until they flap a lazy flipper or give us a curious glance with their doe-like eyes. We decide to end our day in Dumfries Forest, a place where the stars come out to play when the sun goes to bed. The dark sky park is a treasure trove of celestial beauty, a place where the light pollution is as absent as the crowds. We park Hamish in the designated area, the engine ticking its good night before it goes quiet. The forest swallows the sound, leaving us in a cocoon of darkness. The air is cold and still. The scent of pine needles and damp earth reminds us of the day's rain. We grab our blankets and torches, stepping into the embrace of the trees like we're entering a cathedral of nature. The path is clear, but the darkness wraps around us like a warm, velvety cloak. Each step is a silent pact with the night, an agreement to walk softly and respectfully through its realm. Back at Hamish, we gather some wood and light a fire which crackles to life. The flames dance in your eyes, reflecting the stars above. We sit side by side, our breaths coming out in little puffs of white. The only sound, the occasional snap of a twig. The stars are out in full force, winking at us through the gaps in the canopy. The Milky Way stretches out like a river of light, and we try to count shooting stars, but they come too fast, like a meteor shower throwing us a surprise party. As the night deepens, we crawl into our sleeping bags, the scent of the campfire mingling with the earthy musk of the forest. We lie on our backs, the van's pop-top open, and watch the sky as it morphs from deep blue to black, the stars becoming more and more prominent. The quiet is a symphony, and the occasional hoot of an owl is the soloist in this natural orchestra. The events of the day replay in my mind. The cobblestone streets of Edinburgh, the whispers of the sea, the phenomenal breakfast, the farm and the cat, the curious cows, and the seal's silent judgment. The fire crackles, sending sparks up into the inky abyss, where they seem to merge with the twinkling lights above. The heat from the embers lulls us into a state of blissful sleepiness, and I wonder what we'll get up to next on our sleepy journey.